and welcome to Visibility with Video, where each week we uncover the secrets of the universe when it comes to video marketing. So, I am Josh Wadier. I am a YouTube marketing expert, and I'm joined today by Marie, our visibility strategist. So, today we have a very interesting topic and one that Marie will be able to tell you guys I very much geek out over, and that is analytics. So if you're doing any sort of content, especially with video content, you have a whole bunch of analytics at your disposal. And the problem that I see a lot of people do is that they either don't really look at their analytics, or they look at their analytics but they don't really know how to use their analytics to actually affect their content and improve their content. So today what
Well,
we're going to do
let's be
uh,
real, is that a lot of people from the first moment you said analytics are already going, "Oh, no, I don't want that,"
yeah.
because they hide from their numbers, right? I've been one of those people in the past, and then, yeah, I agree, the other people are gonna be like, "Well, I know there are numbers there, but I have no idea what they mean or why I should even care." So
Yeah. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to take us through four of the most important analytics that relate to improving the performance of your content. And we're basically just going to go through one of the analytics and say, okay, here's what this means. Here's what you can do to improve your content based on this, and go through them like that.
oh,
All right.
cool.
So the first one is impressions. So a lot of people like to start looking at their content through views, but impressions is actually more important. So impressions basically is whenever someone has the opportunity to click on your video, it's counted as an impression. So whether that's if they search for something in your videos in the search feed, or if they were just scrolling through YouTube and YouTube recommended it, even if they saw it shared in another social media post or embedded on a website, all of those are impressions. So it's just counting if someone has had the chance to click on your content.
And, that's
So,
important, not just even I mean, I know you're talking YouTube, but,
uh-huh.
it's important across the board, and impressions are actually trackable other places too. I mean, I was looking at it for a client today. So when you're posting your content, even when you're resharing your repurposed content, whatever, on different platforms, impressions are really a good sign of how much awareness you're building
Mhm.
and of how much you are training the algorithms to show your content, right? Because it's all about teaching the algorithm what you want it to do and then doing it in a way that it's going to say, sure, I'll do that for you. So, yeah, tracking those impressions lets you know, is the algorithm even sharing my content?
Mhm. Yeah. So, in your opinion, what do you think is one of the best things to do to try and get more impressions on your content?
I think be consistent so that your content's coming out on a regular basis. Because we talked about it a lot, but the snowball effect of the more consistent you are at putting content out there, it doesn't mean that it has to be 10,000 posts a day, but the more consistent you are getting content out there, the more you're telling that algorithm, hey, I'm sharing my stuff. And then the more people actually engage, the more it gets shown. So,
Mhm.
um, impressions is all about just making it show up because one in five people see your content the first time that you share it, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, you can have a ton of followers. They're not all going to see your content when you share it. So you have to keep being consistent at creating more content so that it begins to show up more often and people just kind of see you over there in their peripheral vision, whatever. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, if you click on it, once more people start clicking on it, the more YouTube's going to show up more. So
Yeah.
that was my first thought.
Yeah, and another big thing with impressions is SEO. And I know that's something that not everyone likes to deal with, but it really is important. If you can get it fully optimizing your content with SEO does two things. First off, it makes it show up in the search engine. So if people are searching for your content, if you can get your videos optimized really well, then it'll show up in that search and increase your impressions. But it also makes sure that YouTube knows exactly who this video needs to be shown to. That way, YouTube has a very clear understanding of what people to recommend your video to, not just what searches to put your video in. So,
Yeah, the same thing on LinkedIn and other places too, with the algorithm there. So,
yeah. So, yeah, with your impressions, this is kind of the baseline. And I will say, I organized all of these analytics in a specific way because if you're looking to improve your content, you really need to start with impressions and then kind of go down the list. Because if you're looking at the later analytics, if they're not looking great, it may be that you just haven't had enough people looking at your content yet. So always start with your impressions and see, okay, is my content actually being shown to a lot of people? If it's only being shown to a few people, then yeah, let's take a look at this. Am I posting consistently? Am I optimizing my content well so it'll be in there? Is the content in my videos actually interesting and people enjoy it? And if not, then you can start tackling those there.
yeah,
All
I
right.
love that. A lot of people look and think nobody's liking my posts, nobody's
Mm-hmm.
engaging with my posts, but they don't know to take it that one step backwards and see how many people are actually seeing your post to begin with. So, love
Yeah.
that.
All right, so now we'll go on to the second one, which is one of the most commonly looked at ones, and that is views. So views takes a step farther from impressions, and a view is counted whenever anyone actually clicks to watch your video. Now, it doesn't matter how long they watch, even if they clicked on the video and left immediately, it's still counted as a view. So I did want to ask you, why do you think like a big thing that a lot of people do when they come on YouTube is they pretty much just look at their views and they see, oh, well, this video got a lot of views, this video didn't get a lot of views, and they kind of rate the entire success of their channel just on the views. So in your opinion, what's the problem with only looking at views when it comes to improving your content?
You have to look at the whole picture because, like we were just saying, you got to look at the impressions. You have to know how many people are actually seeing your stuff. The views tell part of the story. They tell how many people actually chose to click on something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's an engagement standpoint. But it's not enough. I mean, you have to know how many people are actually showing your content. Are you even getting in front of the right people? I mean, I could geek out over a lot of analytics, but you got to know, are you getting in front of the right people? Are you getting in front of enough people? Are those views even the right people viewing your content, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's viewing your content? And then what action are they taking after they view your content? Because you don't want them to stop there, right? You want this to be a process from awareness to viewing to engaging with your content, liking, commenting, following you, and when you send them somewhere, to ultimately purchasing something. So I don't know if that.
Yep. Yeah, so when it comes to views, there are two main things that you can do to try and improve them. And again, this is why I said you have to do your analytics in order, because most of the time when you like search online, well, how do you improve views? You'll get a lot of things that are about how to improve impressions first. Like, well, make sure your SEO is good. That way, more people will see your content and click on it. And if you already have your impressions good, so your first step's done, you've looked at your impressions. I
Mhm.
am getting a lot of impressions, but from those impressions, I'm getting very few actual views. Then it generally comes down to your title and your thumbnail. So the reason why this is because now the video has been presented to them. They have to decide, do I want to watch this or not? And when people are looking through videos to watch, the thumbnail is almost always the first thing they look at because it's big and eye-catching and bright, colorful, and all of that. So, and I do this as well when I'm looking through videos. I'm not looking at the titles, so I'm looking through the thumbnails until I find a thumbnail that I like. I'm like, oh, that could be an interesting video. So the purpose of your thumbnail is to catch people, stop them from scrolling, and get them interested. And then your title is like supplemental information to that. So your title will give more information to the viewer who is still considering. So if they see your thumbnail, they're like, oh, that's interesting. Let me figure out more about it. Their eyes then move over to your title, and they read your title to find out more detailed information. What is this video specifically about? And then after having both of those, they make the decision, do I want to watch this video or do I not want to watch this video?
That's a really fast customer journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Becoming aware of you to deciding if they're going to take action to clicking on. Yeah, I mean, that's like, so you have like a 3-second customer journey there to capture them and get them to take action. So that's crazy.
So yeah, if you've got your impressions down already and you're not converting on views, then take a look at your titles and your thumbnails and see what you can do to improve them, because that's generally where the problem is going to be.
Yeah, really researching those titles. Sorry if I'm stopping you, but
no, you're good. Go ahead.
I mean, you're right about the SEO behind the titles and stuff too, right? I mean, making sure you really research titles that are going to line up with what people are searching for right now. It really helps make sure that you're going to grab them and say something that's going to trigger something in them to make them click. So,
yeah. All right. So the next one is an analytic that honestly not a lot of people consider and not a lot of people look at, but it's very important. So it's tied to watch time, but it's not watch time specifically. It is average percentage viewed. So what this does, and there are actually two analytics that work together in this. There's average percentage viewed and average view duration. So average view duration just says how long did people watch this content. On average, did people watch 2 minutes of it, 30 seconds of it, 5 minutes of it? So it's a good judge of seeing how long people are watching. But that by itself can be a bit misleading, because having a 5-minute average view duration is very good if you have a 6-minute video. It is very bad if you have a 30-minute video. So average percentage viewed is a much more comprehensive look at it, because it says what percentage of your video did they watch? Did they watch 5%? Did they watch 30%? Did they watch 90%? So it basically is there to track when someone clicks to watch your video, how much of your video are they actually watching before they leave? So why do you think this analytic is important to keep track of?
Well, it's actually probably my favorite one, especially on YouTube, because it tells you a couple of things. Did you really stop the scroll with your ideal client? Did you really capture the right person? Was your thumbnail misleading somehow and was actually attracting people that weren't your real audience? Because if they start watching and then stop really quickly, it could be that your content and your thumbnail message maybe weren't quite aligned. Your SEO maybe wasn't quite aligned. Maybe you're not getting the right people. It also tells you, it's a good gauge for the type of content you're creating and gives you really cool insight into where to improve, right? Because it tells you exactly at this point in your video, they stopped. So you can go back and look at that exact point in your video and say, what happened right then? Did I say something really rude? Did I, did I do something crazy? Or was that the point where I said something that actually made them realize, oh, wait a minute, this video isn't what I thought it was going to be? Or maybe that's the point where I should have said something stronger and told them, hey, you need to stay here because we're going to do this. We're going to talk about this. It just gives such an insight into the mind of the person viewing the video, and gives you insight into maybe how you can improve, either whether it's your SEO needs to be improved, your thumbnail, or the way you're delivering the content.
Yeah, I remember a good example of this is what one of our first videos that really, really took off. Like we had been doing a lot of content, it was pretty much the same growth. Then we did one video that got like 6, 7 times more views
Nope,
than
we're gonna
anything
talk
we
about
had ever done. And it was talking about, well, the title of it and the thumbnail were about how to make money from your podcast. And so we had a lot of people clicking on this video. We had a lot of people watching this video. But when we were looking at the analytics, we realized most people who got to this video watched about 15 to 20% of it and then left. And so we started thinking, well, what's wrong with this? And so we took a closer look at the content of the video and realized that it really was more about how to generate leads rather than how to make money. And so we were like, well, maybe we should try changing this. So we changed the title and the thumbnail a little bit, and it started performing better. So it was like Marie was saying, they got into the video expecting clear points on how to make money directly. And then we were not giving them that. We were giving them things about how to generate leads. And so because of that, they watched a little bit, realized this isn't actually what I'm here for, and left. So, and luckily with this analytic, there is actually a graph in YouTube that will show you at this exact second in the video how many people were still watching. At this second, how many people were still watching. So you can see if the graph is going pretty consistently and then just drops right
a
here,
lot of times it
what
drops.
happened there?
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened there? What can we do to change that? And yeah, some just general advice around this. Having a very strong hook in the beginning of your video will make people more likely to to kind of stay along with it. But another thing that not everyone thinks about is that like people have a short attention span, and that's why we give them the hook at the beginning to get them hooked into the video. But even after they've been hooked into the video, they still have a limited attention span.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not keeping your content engaging throughout the video, then eventually people are going to drop off. And one easy thing that you can do with that is just to focus on improving your editing of the videos a little bit, adding more lower thirds, adding some B-roll footage in the background, adding music to the video, different things like that, just so that it's not just you sitting here talking for 6, 7 minutes straight, but there's things that are changing, there's things that are moving, and that just helps to keep people visually stimulated and watching the video the whole way through.
Yep.
All right, so the last one is another very common one that everyone wants, but no one really knows how to improve all that much, and that is subscribers. So, of course, subscribers are people who have clicked to subscribe to your channel so they see more of your content. And it's always like having a lot of subscribers doesn't necessarily mean your channel is doing good, but it does mean that it's more likely that those people will see your content. So it is generally a good thing to keep an eye on. So when it comes to improving this, a lot of people try to improve their subscribers directly as the first thing they want to improve. But I want to say that if you have done everything else that we have talked about so far, then your subscribers will start improving
It will.
because your impressions are good. So your content is getting shown to a lot of people. Your views are good, which means people who are shown your content click on your video, and your average percentage viewed is good, which means people who are watching your content watch it longer, which usually means they enjoy your content. And the more people that you can find to watch your content and enjoy your content, the more likely it is that people will subscribe to your channel. And another big thing to increase your subscribers is just ask for people to subscribe. have a good call to action at the end of your videos. And it doesn't have to be at the end of every video. Of course, doing business marketing, you do want calls to action leading to other things for your business, but have a call to action just saying, hey, if you've liked this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you can see more of our content. That way you'll be the first to see it, like however you want to word it. But just reminding people that are enjoying your content that they can subscribe to your channel will oftentimes lead them to subscribe to your channel. But if they're not enjoying your content first, the odds are they're never going to subscribe. So focus on all of the other things first. Focus on getting good impressions. Focus on converting those impressions into views. Focus on getting people to watch your content longer and engage with your content more. And if you do that, then your subscribers are going to increase.
Yep, I agree. And I agree. I think putting that call to action up early in your video, don't be scared to do that. Don't be scared to just tell people right away. Number one, this is what I'm going to talk about today. And I encourage you to hit that,
I think your microphone cut out. No, I can't.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. But like I was saying before, you really do need to do it in a process. So don't try and rush things. Don't try and just skip to the end. Try and follow the process all the way through, because that's what's going to get you to the results that you want. All right. Is your mic working again, Marie? All right, so since we're having some technical difficulties with that, I'll go ahead and wrap this up. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any questions about any of this, feel free to let us know. Of course, there's tons more analytics that you can go through. A lot of them are really helpful. These are just some of the most important that I found for improving your content. And of course, if you want more in-depth information on all of this, you can go to our YouTube channel, because we've created a whole YouTube series with videos dedicated to each one of these different analytics to help you give a really in-depth dive on practical ways that you can start improving them. So anyways, I hope this has helped you, and we will see you guys next time.